Hello everyone and welcome to a new Skull Merchant video. It's not what some of you expected, you asked me for a guide dedicated to the new low power mode add-on, but I'm not gonna go for it. I'm gonna explain my feelings about this rework and why I think that this reworked add-on was a bad idea. Let's start from a thing, the old low power mode was an add-on that actually allowed you to reduce the cooldown after placing a drone. I think it was 7-8 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Like, uh, Now, this add-on, in my opinion, was one of the best, but actually it was mainly quality of life and having a good feeling about when you play the killer. Because I think that this combo that I'm using now is a lot stronger. I was already using it sometimes, especially when I saw that the people I was facing were possibly really, really good. And this add-on is a lot stronger than the old low power mod. But that add-on was really popular and really used, mainly because people don't like cooldowns. Cooldowns mean that you have to wait, and waiting is a bad feeling, you know. But I also understand why that, the cooldown is a thing in the new Skull Merchant. I'm not against that. You know me, I even spoke about it when it was the feeling about the PTB. The main problem was that a lot of people were using that add-on, me included, because the Skull Merchant actually has a bug that when you drop a drone, sometimes for something that you cannot explain, because I didn't get how you can avoid that kind of situation. The drone is not actually placed, and you still get the cooldown, you still get the undetectable, but the drone is not placed. So if you need it during that moment, during a loop, basically that kind of situation is really damaging to you. Without a cooldown reduction, it feels even worse. Mainly, a lot of people were using that add-on not because considered strong, but also because it was a really decent way to deal with a problem that the game itself has. So, I don't think that changing that add-on before solving the bug was actually a good idea. I think that at least if you wanted to do something like this, you could change another add-on, you could work on the cooldown, making it a bit shorter. I don't know, honestly. But I'm gonna be honest with you, low power mode, was mainly quality of life, and playing without it actually I think made me stronger. I was already playing some games without it, I repeat, when I found really good people against, I was okay, these players are good. I switched off low power mode to play with the vital targeting processor. This add-on, I think, is our best add-on right now. In general, with this. Decreases survivor skyline immunity duration. Of course, this has no sense now with the new low power mode. Let's speak about the new low power mode. I'm gonna be honest, at the beginning, especially if you follow me on Twitter, I'm not gonna negate it. This add-on hyped me a lot. Because, it gave you a lot of accuracy where you needed it, and it felt like you had to think more about the positioning of the drones, you know? Sometimes when you are in chase, you're a bit more in area, and you're okay, I know that the drones rotating are gonna get them if I make the drones rotating in the right way. So I don't have to think too much. While with the low power mode, this one, you can choose where to make that effect trigger. If you have experience, you make that happen in a point where you know that they are not gonna reach the pallet or a window every time you want. That allowed me to see for special gaps, to see for the most optimal placement. That was really cool. But this add-on has a lot of problems. This add-on, only stopping the beams, is not enough to consider it a good add-on. Actually, it's the opposite. What are the main problems? First problem, it's a technical problem. This, I think, can be fixed with a patch or whatever. The beams not always spawn in front of you. Sometimes these are a bit more to the left, a bit more to the right, and like you have no feedback to know if that's the kind of situation that is going to happen. I even played with a crosshair, like that's not consistent. Like there are some areas where like your beam is moved a bit more to the right, other areas where it's moved a bit more to the left. Like I think like it's a problem of items that you have close to you, especially generators, hooks, chests and stuff like that, or even of a possible spawn of these items, because like I tried with the center of the shack when the generator wasn't there, like the beam sometimes was moved to one of the two directions, and like this already removes a lot of the accuracy that you need to play this add-on. Like it feels frustrating, also because like when the drone is in stealth mode, like you have no feedback of where your beams are actually pointing, you know? So this already was kinda discouraging me from playing this add-on. Then the 4v1 was actually the other reason why I thought that this add-on is actually probably the worst add-on she has right now. If not the worst, like if we assume that we review add-ons still F tier, like it will be D tier. If we review add-ons still D tier, like it will be C tier. Like, but this add-on, like, it's really, really bad. Mainly for one of the reasons that the drones are actually good in the base kit right now. Like, mainly to get information about many areas of the map. Like, with my drone's placement, like, I don't know how many times, like, when you play normally, like, you don't even realize, but, like, I get, normally people getting tracked randomly, so I have a better idea what they are doing. I have even claw traps triggering, so I immediately know where to go after the chase that I close, or, like, I can choose to drop a chase to go for the one with the claw trap. Like, these are a lot of effects that you have with the normal spinning of the drones, because, like, you know, they go in an area, like assume, for example, Garden of Joy main building, you place a drone there, like they don't realize they get attacked. Now, with the low power mod, with this one, like, or you block a door, like technically you block a door, or you block a line of for a possible loop, but basically, unless they are in chase, it's really hard that you get that kind of value, you know? So the people who are going just randomly around the map, like, are able to avoid the beams a lot of times. Another problem is, like, if you, for example, put a drone, preset a drone on a filler, like, for example, a strong filler. Imagine the Macmillan fillers, for example. These are usually at the center of the map, and, like, survivors run there when they are in chase. With the low power mod, like, you are limited even in that. Why? Because, like, oh, Jane, but you can set a drone there too, like, you place it at the center of the loop, and, like, they cannot loop that. True. The problem is the pathing. Because, like, if you place the drone in a way that actually not only cut off the loop, because, like, that's my idea, I don't only play around the single loop, but also about the possibilities of reaching other areas after loop, or, like, if they are just going at the center of the map, like, I don't know, a main building to a filler, or, like, you know, this kind of situations. Like, the drones spinning, like, or they get directly the beam on themselves, so, or they get slowed, or they get a lock-on stack. Or, like, they are forced at an unusual pathing, like, or they are forced at completely drop that loop. Now, if the beam is not moving, like, their possibilities of avoiding that drone are a lot higher. Like, they can go for a more optimal pathing. So even in that, like, you are really limited. And, like, all these discussions actually make me sad, because, like, I repeat, like, the idea of accuracy was actually something really cool, but, like, for these two reasons, it's not possible. Also, it makes you a lot weaker in the 4v1. Now, would I buff this add-on? Speaking about buffs with the School Merchant, considering how much she's hated, like, I'm always afraid of people coming at my house, and, like, you know, it's always a dangerous topic. But, like, this add-on, like, is it now? I don't think. First of all, that should be a yellow add-on. Like, because basically you are nerfing yourself, if we have to speak about the strength of the killer. And like, if we want to leave it as a yellow add-on, it needs other effects. Like, I don't know, you can add some drums, and I know that people will probably hate me for that. You can remove the condition of, you know, the radius, the minimum radius where you can place a drone with each other, so at least you can create a sort of cone in a certain area and blocking it completely. Like, you can do something like this, you know. But only stopping the beams, like, it's just a nerf to yourself. I don't want to make a guide with this because, like, I don't think that it's something people should invest their time on. Like, if I have to make a guide, I'm going to make a guide about how to play the Skull Merchant in general. At the moment, I cannot do that because, like, you know, I had a hard reset. I'm gonna have possibly the upgrade of the PC I need because my old GPU is almost dying. Possibly even today, so I cannot go for a really complex video. I hope that you enjoy also this kind of vlogging videos. Like, I wanted to give explanations, and like, I think that the classic Twitter wall text wasn't enough to explain my concern about this add-on. But like, I think that this rework was a mistake. Before everything, because like not allowing to lower the cooldown when there is a bug that makes the experience frustrating with air related actually to getting a cooldown for not getting value from your power, like, it's not a good idea. A second point, because like this add-on right now can have some fun and gimmick uses, but like at the end of the day, because of technical reason related to bugs and because of like a practical reason related to the game plan and effectiveness of the killer, it's not the, I wouldn't even say the most optimal way. Like, it's just a, like, you know, when you play, for example, speed limiter on Billy, like, it's something like that. Like, it's that kind of meme add-on that actually hurts yourself. But like, here you don't get even extra blood points. Like, if you don't want to change this, make it a brown add-on and like give extra blood points for that. Not that I need it, because like I usually max my deviousness category with the base kit, like I always did it. But like, at least you give it a purpose. But right now, like, I'm sorry, but I don't suggest this add-on, and I think that they should change something about it, because like right now it's just frustrating to play it. Like, you don't get any uses at all. Thank you so much for watching me. Like, I'm sorry if there is no guide as promised, but I hope that also I can give you a right explanation of why I don't want to go for it and why I don't think it's worth it. Thank you so much. I'll see you really soon on Twitch.